Hi guys, it's good to see you guys. Welcome, come on in. Let's have a chat and let's do some internal rewiring of the brain as we're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're gonna talk about self-love and then we're gonna do some internal rewiring of the brain, and I'll walk you through an exercise that I walked through everyone who was in my workshop that just passed, Your Ultimate Life. So we'll do a little bit of exercise with that. So let's dive in and get started. So welcome in, everybody. Feel free to share this with your friends if you know someone who's struggling with love for themselves or any of that kind of stuff. Yeah, this would be a perfect chat. So let's talk about self-love. What is self-love, right? We think about self-love as, oh, hold on, I went and got a pedicure and I went and got a manicure, I got my hair done, da 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 da. Most people will equate that to self-care, which they equate into self-love, right? Taking care of yourself. Self-love is being selfish. It's putting you first. Self-love is understanding how to be selfish for yourself, coming into yourself, putting you first in everything. It's not about what the neighbors are doing or what you can do for somebody else. Being in self-love means, how do I give it to myself? How do I show up for myself? How do I want to perceive myself? How do I want to represent myself? How do I want to speak from that point of that self-love? And are you breathing? Right? You can literally not hold your breath for an extended period of time and think that you're going to still live, right? So that breath becomes your life. The breath becomes the life force energy. And so what if self-love is just that as well? It's the life force within you that is here within you to share, once you figured out how to use it for yourself. A lot of us think that it's like, okay, I love myself and now let me just go give it away. And let me do this for you, and I'll mow your grass for you, and I'll shovel your driveway for you, right? Self-love is not any of that. Self-love is literally like turning it on yourself, giving it to you all the time, right? And by focusing on you, everything outside of you becomes the reflection of that to yourself. So when we think we have to chase love as validation, that's not really self-love. I love that, right? So the more you fall in love with yourself and do everything for you, and I'm not saying efforting, because if you're efforting, that's not love, right? If you're efforting trying to get a job, if you're efforting trying to make things work, that's not self-love. That's you trying way too fucking hard. So when you're in self-love, you are thriving. And if you're not thriving, there is a part of you that is disconnected from yourself. If you are not fully embracing everything, that's part of you leaving yourself behind. So in the brain tries to justify, and this is why I love doing this rewiring of the brain. The brain wants to justify why we don't have something, why we don't have a partner, why we're not lovable, why we don't have the money we want, why things are not showing up in the amount of time frame we want them to show up. All this stems from you. So in self-love, more things start to come in, right? When we step into love, everything with us first, knowing that we are the partner, knowing that we are the children, we are the child, we are the innocence, we are the self-wonder. All the things will start showing back up for you in a different capacity. So on here in the past, I've done brain rewirings and people have money show up out of nowhere, or job offerings showing up out of nowhere. That's because you're changing the frequency in which you live by. You're changing the identity in which you live by to allow those things to come in. When we're always thinking about of service for other people and I got to do this outside of myself to receive love from somebody else, you're going to be chasing for a really long time. You are always the love you're looking for, absolutely. But the mixed signals and the mixed messages tends to guide people in the wrong direction. Why did they leave me? Why do they not want me, right? So they'll step into law of attraction and manifestation, and everything becomes more distant to them, right? And the self-love allows it all to come to you. You become even more magnetic to everything that you want by stepping in and loving you. And that's just the truth of it. That's the truth of it. The more you are selfish and bring it all to yourself first, everything outside of you lines up. And then you can be selfless, right? That saying of my cup has to be full before I can share. Well, that's how it should be with your love as well. Can you just imagine if every single person, 8 billion people on this planet, love themselves first, and we're selfish with that, how fast everything would start to change in humanity. Just saying. If we had more self-love, there would be no war. If we had more self-love, we wouldn't have the people in government that we put there. We wouldn't even need government. We wouldn't need the things that we have right now to sustain us and showing us what's not working inside of us. So you create those parameters outside of yourself, and then that shifts the consciousness of what you're seeing and feeling. I have clients who'll show up and go, but there's a war over here. I'm like, but is there? Is that the war inside of yourself reflecting back to you? And they'll just be blown away by how fast they redirect it back into self. Right? So the more we redirect and more redirect to ourselves, the more things amplify. The more. So let's do a little bit of a chat in the group here. What is it you're still seeking? What are you seeking for yourself? Whether it's inside of yourself or outside. What are you seeking for yourself? What do you want? What do you want? Be honest. And here's your chance, because the brain rewire allows you to shift and open that all up. Right? It allows you to unlock and unblock yourself to receiving. And the brain tends to tell us the story of why we don't have it. And you can lie to yourself. Lying to yourself is great if you believe that. Money and be able to make the life choices I want to. Why can't you make the life choices you want to right now? Stop caring for other people say about me. Oh, that's a fantastic one, Lorna. Why do you care what other people say about you? What does their opinion of you matter? You second all of them. That's very interesting. Financial stability. Thanks, Sherry. Appreciate that. Right? So who wants more money? Who wants more money? Who wants to not care what other people say or think about them? So answer me this first, before we go into that. Why do you care so much? Why do you care so much? Why do you care what other people say about you? Ooh, programming. Yeah. So who told you that? Who lined that up for you that you had to program into that? It's a taught thing. You're the people pleaser. Awesome. The world. So the outside stimulates how you feel. Family. Ooh, awesome. Yeah. Well, we're kind of sleeping in a sense, right? So just hear me out. We're kind of sleeping in a sense, right? Where we believe what we're seeing and hearing, and then we take it on as a truth, and then therefore it justifies why we don't have it, right? So I was sitting in just a little bit of a session this morning, and this is what came from me. I want more. Who wants more? You guys all put yes to the money and the stuff. We'll get to that brain mirror in one second. How do you want more? It doesn't matter what it is. You just want more. More money, more love, more attention, more things, more cars, more homes, whatever it is, vacation, whatever it is, you want more of it, right? Because we want the feeling of that or the accomplishment of getting it. So here's something that showed up for me today. And I was like, oh my word. And it's in songs. It is in songs, this word. And I'm like, holy shit. You can't always get what you want. How many of you have heard that? You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want, right? So then you take that and then you insert it into this and 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 this. And then we sit there and go, well, I didn't get what I wanted. I didn't get what I wanted. And then you'll realize that over and over again, you went to manifest and you didn't get it. You asked for this and you didn't get it. You asked for the pony at Christmas and you didn't get it. You grew up hearing it. So how many things does that affect in your life? Now that it's in your awareness and I brought it to your attention, how many things in your life does that equate to? What don't you get that you want? That would imply if you can't get what you want, It doesn't matter how much money you have, you'll never get it. It doesn't matter which way it comes to you, you'll never get it. Almost everything. Jill, bingo. So, do you want to rewire your brain to get everything? Maybe that's the money. Maybe that's the love. Maybe that's the understanding for yourself of your manifestations. Maybe it's the law of assumption that you can just start to believe in it that quick. Yeah. So instead of we can't get, we always get what we want. Yeah? You ready? Sign you up. Well, let's shift it right now and let's see. Let's see how fast you can change that within yourself, right? So I'm just going to get you to take your hand and I'm going to get you to place 3 fingers from your breastbone ends here. 3 fingers from there down. You can put them together. Yeah. Let's go, baby. Sassy soul. Yes. Right? So 3 fingers right on the diaphragm, because your diaphragm's right there. So 3 fingers there. And I just want you to just pay attention to that area of your body, okay? And you're just going to breathe. Ready? You're going to breathe in your nose right down into that spot where your fingers are, okay? Sternum, thank you. It was there. I'm like, breastbone. I'm like, that's not what it's called. And one more breath. And just keep your awareness on your fingers. That's all. That's all you have to do. Keep your awareness on your fingers. And as you're breathing in and out, nice and slow, elongate that breath, and then watch your body start to relax. So I'm just going to bring in some words, and you can pick whichever one resonates with you. And then I just want you to say it to yourself a couple of times, okay? Why is it true that I'm always abundant? Why is it true that I always get what I want? Why is it true that I've always had everything I want and need? Again, just keep your focus there, but you can say whichever one resonates with you. Why is it true that I'm always receiving the best of everything? Why is it true I am the best in who I am? Just breathe, breathe, breathe. So if you're feeling pressure coming up in the brain, that's the rewiring going on, right? So that's the subconscious releasing. And how does that feel now? Do you feel more like you can get what you want? Does it feel like there's no barrier here to moving with ease? And thank you for sharing. I do appreciate it. Just release anything around mum there as well, where mum, there's like a mum blocking. It released calmness. Amazing. Amazing. Opened a door. Amazing. Yep. So all that pressure is starting to leave the brain where we try to chase after something, right? The self-love is within. It's not external to us. Total peace. Holy shit. That's amazing. Yes, Mom. Yeah. So let that release. You didn't feel it. That's okay. How do your thoughts feel around being able to get what you want, Kim? Does it feel like it's more open? And you may not feel a single thing, right? It's more about understanding that your brain will hold on to, I don't get what I want, and you'll be able to see that pattern. And when it shifts, you'll be like, oh, shit, doors are open. I receive whatever I want. You tend to hold your pressure in the temples, which means internal overthinking. So you're constantly thinking back and forth. More clear. And watery eyes. Yeah, so there's your release, right? The watery eyes. Good afternoon. Good to see you guys. Yeah, so let's do another one. What else are you holding on to? That's okay. Be open to it shifting without you knowing. Yawning, fear. Fear of what? Frustration of what? You felt calmness. I'm wondering, how did it just puts your focus there. Because if I don't give you somewhere to focus, your brain will go like this and ping pong all over the place trying to figure it out. Extra weight. How many of you guys are holding on to extra weight? I just had one young lady, she's in here, I won't name names unless she wants to out herself, but she lost 4 pounds since my workshop, the Ultimate Life Workshop. That's massive. You felt heavy. That's okay. So take a deep breath and just allow that to release. Sometimes you'll feel heavy when you're trying to hold it, right? It's foreign to let stuff go sometimes, right? But it's releasing as you speak. Amazing. Yep. You have to remember, you guys all know what a straitjacket looks like, right? So right now, all of the shit you think you have to hold on to is like wearing a straitjacket every day, right? Or a parka in the middle of summer. That gives you a better representation. So until you're ready to unlock that zipper to take the coat off, it's not going to happen. And you're going to continue to sit and spiral down or up or in a roller coaster, depending on the day, what's being presented. And it's really coming back to the self-love within us, right? Allowing everything to shift within us to show us the external. If you try to shift the external, you're not going to shift anything within you, and that pattern's going to still show up because nothing outside of yourself is going to take care of it. It's all you. You're starting to honor your body.